we're gonna go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so first things first, with a WordPress website, whenever you're wanting to log in, what you're gonna do first is go to your actual website, and then after the .org at the top, you're gonna put \wp-admin. Whoop, that'd be helpful. There we go. Okay, \wp-admin.
You said \wp-admin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then once you do that, you're going to be taken to this login page. So for mine, because I've already got my password saved, you'll see how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and log in with your password. This is what it's going to look like for you. And then this is where you'll put in your email address and then your password, which again, Marissa will send you later. And then I would recommend just having the remember me option.
Yep.
Then you go ahead and log in. And also just, I'm going to go ahead and send this meeting as well as a whole training video over to you as well. So if, so if you need that for reference, we will be sending that to you. Okay, so now we're on the back end of your website. And at the top, you'll see we've got this section that's your dashboard. Your dashboard is kind of just your main hub for your website. And you can move things around as you see fit. Some people like to use this, some people don't. It's just kind of whatever is up to you. But if you want to move certain things around, like let's say you want to see your Give WP donations reports up at the top, you could just click on it. And then you have the ability to just drag and drop wherever you want it to be.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's certain things that you feel like, hey, I don't really need to view that, that's not really necessary, then if you go up at the top, there's a screen options button. And when you click that, it drops down and you can choose what is being shown. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, we don't need to see, the quick draft, or we don't need to see the WordPress events and news. And as I uncheck them, they disappear from this dashboard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so feel free. This is just however you want to set it up. Feel free to go ahead and do that. But yeah, that's your dashboard. Is there any questions about that?
Not for me, Diane. Do you have any? 1 second.
No, I'm good.
Great. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to go into, this is a really quick thing. It's just to kind of let you know what it is. This is a plugin called iCode. And this plugin is specifically a support plugin for the plugin that is hosting your directory. So plugins being basically just kind of like widgets that you can add on to WordPress websites. And whenever we set up your directory with all your resources, we use a plugin called GeoDirectory. And if there's ever any support tickets that we need, or if we ever need their support team to go in the back end and see what's going on, they use this iCode to do that. So that's just more so for your information. I don't think you will ever have to use it since we're doing the website maintenance for you. If there was ever something where we needed to in a support ticket and talk to their support team, we would do that for you. But I do just want to let you know what that is, why it's there.
So if we see anything pop up, just give you guys a heads up.
Yes. Yep. Okay. Just with anything.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So next thing we're going to go ahead and look at is your posts. So the posts on the left-hand side, that is where all of your blog posts are hosted. As you can see, these are the 3 that Marissa added that are currently being shown on your homepage. The nice thing with your homepage, I'll go ahead and just pull it up in a different tab. But the nice thing about your homepage is that as you're adding new blogs, they will automatically show up under that news section right here. Latest news and announcements. So if you ever add a new one, it'll only show the top 3 most recent postings. So you never have to worry about updating this area on your homepage with any new blogs because it will automatically do it for you. So we can see those 3 here. So let's say that we want to create another blog post. With anything when it comes to posts, blogs, if you scroll up to the very top, next to the name, you'll see this Add New button. And you can always just click a new post there. what we would recommend, just to keep everything integrated, seamless, make sure all the settings are the same as how we've already set them up, just so that it looks symmetrical, is that you can hover over these and you have a clone option, and the clone option will duplicate for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and do that now. I'm just gonna do a test, and we're gonna keep this drafted so that it's not like showing up on your homepage right now. But whenever you do clone either a post or a page, you'll see here that it just duplicates the same title. And the difference is that this one specifically says draft. The others say Divi. What that means is just that that post was created using the Divi builder. That's all that it says. So
do we have to purchase any Divi product to be able to continue editing and creating these?
No, we already have that set up for you.
Okay, so the templates there, we have access to edit and update.
Yes. Yep. And I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. So we've got that cloned draft. We're going to go ahead and just click into it to edit it. And this is where you would put all the information. So the first things first is that you'd put in the new name of your blog here. So let's just say PGM blog is the name of our blog. The next thing you're going to do is copy this, what you just put in there. And you're going to edit this permalink. So this is called the slug, which is a really gross word to describe it. But this is basically like the specific landing page. It kind of tells people what this landing page is. So we always want to make sure that it's the same as the title of the page or the post, because it's better for your SEO. So I'll paste it there. You click confirm, and it will automatically lowercase it and put a dash, which is the specific settings that are needed. So just make sure that whenever you're updating your title, that you update that permalink too. Okay, so now that we are here, the next thing that I would say we would do is go to your featured image and update that. We'll go ahead and click that, and you'll see that right now it's got this like check mark. There's all these different images and videos and everything, and right now it's showing this header. Let's just say that we want to choose a different one. We'll go ahead and choose this instead. This is our new header image, or we'll do this one instead. You would just click it and click set featured image. And then that would update the hero image for your blog post. And you'll see it confirms it over here under this little preview.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and then just so you know too, the next thing you're going to take a look at, this is a Yoast SEO, I guess builder plugin. We went ahead and put Yoast SEO, a free version of that, for your website, so that if you ever wanted to do any search engine optimization initiatives, you have this. So this will pop up for every single blog post, every single page, every single event, anything that you create. You'll see this little toggle here. You can toggle it down or up if you're using it. And if you ever wanted to attribute a specific keyword for your pages, you could do that here. So if you wanted to do, you know, PGM blog as my keyword, then as you're going in and adding your meta description, so the meta description is what shows up if you were to Google, let's say Paul Gregory Media. A meta description is this piece of text that you'll see in a Google search. So if you ever want to add that in yourself or update that to say something specific, you would do that here in this meta description area. And then whatever you type here, this is a PGM blog. It will auto-populate up here for you to see. Oh.
Nice. Pretty seamless and straightforward.
Yes, yes. And the nice thing with your Divi builder too is that that makes the actual design a lot easier as well. So now that we've done those things, now we want to actually update the copy. So right now, what it automatically will do is it shows you the wireframe view of the Divi builder. So this is basically like the bare bones of what the page layout is like. And you can definitely make edits from these if you
probably best that we
the
don't.
gear icons. However, yeah, you could, but it's a lot easier to see in real time the edits you're making if you're on the front end. So we'll go ahead and do that now. We can just do that by clicking build on the front end. Okay. And so then I will show you, this is what it's going to look like to people once they see it on your website, which is why building on the front end is always better. So we've got the title, name, dates, and then we've got that hero image that we updated. And then this is the copy. So structurally, really quick breakdown of the structure of your Divi pages. You're going to have 3 different elements to a page. You're going to have the section, which is the different things we can put in here. We can do the text, which will show you a video. So that is all of your modules that help build the page. And I can go into this a little bit more whenever we're doing an overview of your actual landing pages. But for your post, your blog post, all you really need to worry about is the text, because that's all you have to put in there. So in order to update that text, you would go to the module, the gray box, and you'd click that gear setting. And you could like widen this if you want, and this shows you the text. All you'd have to do is copy and paste any of the text that you want. So this is the copy of my blog. Okay. And once you go ahead and do that, you'd click the green arrow, the check mark, and then it will automatically update that for you here. Once you're done putting in your article and everything is ready to go, you'll see at the bottom there's like this little purple circle. You click that, it pulls up a toolbar, and this is where you can again view it on a mobile or on a tablet device. You can view it on mobile to make sure that everything is still responsive. And then you can go back to desktop. Over here, you also have like a revisions history. So if you ever made a revision, you're like, whoops, want to go back and revert back to an older version of that, that's where you can go here. And you would just click it and then click the green check mark. And then if this is all good to go and ready, you would go ahead and click publish. I'm just going to save it as a draft for now so that it doesn't show up on your homepage. If you were mostly done with it, but you needed to go back and add something later, you could just save it as a draft as well. But if it was all ready to publish and you're ready to make it live, you would just click publish.
Now, from the other page that was kind of like in WordPress,
yeah.
Can you publish from there as well? Or do you have to come to the front page to publish?
So in the back end, you can also do the exact same thing. So once we do that, I'll go ahead and show you. So if we exit out of here, we can exit the visual builder. This lets us get out of that visual builder. So now we're just seeing it as a page on the front end of your website. If you go to edit post and you click that, it will take you to that same back end view of that same page. And you can make those exact same edits. It's just sometimes it's easier to build on the front end. So if you wanted to.
Sorry, 1 second.
That's okay.
Oh, their father could not get home soon enough.
Oh.
I remember when I wanted to go back to work.
That's okay. They sound like they're having fun.
Yes.
So for blog posts, since you're really just updating the text, if you didn't necessarily want to go into the front end of the builder, you know, all that kind of stuff, what you could do is just hover over this text. It'll say like section, row, and then whatever the name of the module is. We could do the same thing to your icon with the text, and you could just paste it there. Paste it there, click the green check, and then publish here or save as a draft here. both options, it's basically whatever you prefer. We always point to building on the front end, especially for web pages, but for your blog, if you just wanted to stick in this like wireframe view, you could get it done just as easily without too much of a headache of like the structure of anything.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the last thing,
you can't do it all down there.
Down
Sorry,
here?
you can't see where I'm pointing. Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, so this is a different area. This is for SEO purposes, this little widget.
Okay, so that's just your picture, the title, the page, and then to edit the actual post, you would have to go up. Oh my goodness. Jesus.
That's okay. Yes, to answer your question, yes. The title, you would have to update it here. The featured image, you have to update it here. And then for the actual text, you'd go in there.
Okay. Just want to write all that down.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. And then if you ever wanted to share that and just get the actual link, you could just hover over this as well. Right click, you can copy. It has to be like published first, but if you were to publish this, you could just take the exact link there.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Alrighty. The only other thing I want to just make known to you, if there was any like certain categories you wanted to create with your blogs, we've got just one created right now. It's just announcements. If you ever wanted to like separate like a blog section from like a latest news section, sometimes organizations do that just to kind of separate out their content. You could do that. You would just add a new category down here, type in what you want that to say, and then click add new category. And then it would show your blog automatically in different areas. So we're just going to keep it under announcements. That works for this blog. But just so you know, there are categorization options for your blog overall.
Okay.
Okay. So that's your post section. Is there any questions? I'm just going to discard and exit everything I've done.
No, it's definitely something that's going to take a little bit of practice and getting used to.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, cool. So that is your post. We're going to go ahead and show you the media library quick because this one's very simple and easy. Media library is where any of the images, videos, or PDFs that you have on your website live. So if you ever wanted to add new images or videos or PDFs, you would just go up to the top here, click add new, and then you could either drag and drop the files here. You could click select files. It'll open up your files operation. I'm not sure. I can't remember what it is for Microsoft, but for us it's Finder. And then you could just select your files there. Or you can just drag and drop them into the grid. And once you do that, it'll like show a loading symbol, and then it'll be like, oh, they're ready. And then whenever they're ready, if you click on it, you can see where you would put any alt text. You don't have to worry about this. This is more so an SEO thing, but it shows you the title. It shows you the file URL, which we'll come back to this in a little bit whenever we're looking at the pages. But this is just an important place because if you choose to maybe put a PDF on your website and you want people to be able to, click a button that takes them to the PDF where they could download it or print it, you could do that by using this link. And I'll show you an example of how to do that later when we're going through the pages. But in terms of the media library, that's the information that it has. If you ever needed to search, it's always nice to have a title for your images because then that makes it easier for you to search. So if I wanted to see, I'm trying to find that picture of Suzanne, there it is, because it says Suzanne Kinsey in the title. Something to keep in mind. You do not have to title those. It just might make your life easier if you end up putting a lot of images on your website and you're trying to sort and filter through things. I think automatically it just takes the name of the file as is. So if it's got like a long number, like this is image 09825, then that will be the title that shows up in the media library. So if you want to update it, you just update it here. Alrighty, any questions about your media library?
No.
Cool. Okay.
It's pretty similar to uploading in Constant Contact as far as the drag and drop
Yes.
and the management of the library itself.
Yes. Usually for a lot of those different drag and drops, whether it's for, you know, a CMS like this or for email marketing, whatever it might be, so long as you kind of have like the similar general like experience, you'll be able to find it eventually. Yeah, it's very similar to.
Is it useful to kind of rid and cycle through every once in a while to get rid of some?
Yeah, I
Or
think
does it-
that will. It matters maybe a little bit because I don't think so actually. Now that I think about it, I don't really think it matters too much. Marissa, would you agree? It doesn't really matter how many images they have here, right? It's just more so like a personal, like if you have a bunch of images that you're not using or you're not needing, it just might make it hard if you're trying to find certain images. But when it comes to actual functionality of your website, Marissa, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think it matters how many you have.
No, it doesn't matter. But if you do delete a photo, it will be deleted off your site. So that's only something to keep in mind.
Yeah, that is true. Good point.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go backwards now. We're going to go back to the events. This is where every single calendar event that you have on your events calendar lives. So as we scroll under, we can see all of those here. I'm just going to do a quick caveat and let you know that based on the way that this plugin is, sometimes the display, whenever you first log in, you'll probably see most of these checked off. And then you'll see some really weird formatting going on here where it's super skinny and narrow. That's just the plugin. That's just their display. So if you're getting like crazy thin title and you can't really read what's going on here, I would just recommend, again, going to the screen options, unchecking anything you don't need to see, which for events, we don't need to see received internal links. We don't need to see a readability score and SEO score. Everything else we can keep, and you'll click apply. It'll again remove those columns from your view below, which will, you know, spread everything off again. So just a heads up, if you look into that and it happens, you didn't do anything wrong, that's the plugin just displaying it weird. Cool. So this is where, again, all of your events are laid out. I'm going to quickly show you some of the subcategories under this events tab, and then I'll go ahead and show you what it would look like to create an event. So off to the left, we have something called event categories, which we've already created a couple for you. I believe these are mostly for your adult day services programs. We created health and wellness, rec games, social activities, so that whenever you are creating an event, if it falls underneath any of these categories, you can attribute it to that.
Okay.
If you want to create a new event category, you would just do, let's just say mental health. You put that as the name.
Probably one that would work.
Yeah. And then same thing for the slug. It's just the title, mental-health. Oh, if I could spell health. If it needed a parent event category, so let's say that mental health is a subcategory of health and wellness, you could choose health and wellness to be a parent event category. I have never put anything in the description. It's not necessary. It just so that you guys remember what it is, you can put it there, but it's just for internal use. And then you add a new event category, and once you do that, it will show up here.
Okay.
Alrighty, so series, I'm just going to kind of review this quickly because in my opinion, coming up with a recurring event or a series, this is what that is. That's easier to do in the singular event page. I'll kind of describe what that looks like in a second, but this shows you all of the different recurring events series that you have created on your calendar. So for example, we have the Alzheimer's support group. That's a recurring event, so it shows that series. It shows you the start date, which these are all arbitrary because the start date was a date in June when I was building this. But if you were to put in a new event that started to recur, it would show you when that starts. If there's an end date for any of them, it'll show you an end date. and then it shows you how many events are in that recurring series. So for example, if we scroll down here, Wii Bowling, based on how many times that event occurs, there's like 262 currently. So that's really nice. If you ever wanted to go in, we'll do Wii Bowling.
Do any of these have an end date? Or is it just open until, or is that something we'll have to go in and update?
Yeah, so you can always update those. Most of them don't, because a lot of them are like the weekly programs. If there was like an exception date, let's say one of the weekly programs lands on a weekday that also is the same day as Christmas, you can always add an exception date. And then if there's like an end date where it's a recurring series for like a few months, but then it ends, then you can add that in. You can add that in, I believe at the top. No, it's down here at the bottom. This shows you every single singular event, because basically when you create a series, you start by creating one single event. You define when you're doing that, and I'll show you in a second. It'll make a lot more sense once you're visually seeing it. It'll define, you have the option to define whether or not it's recurring weekly, monthly, XYZ. Once you do that and you save it, a bunch of singular events show up and they all have that same series. So as you can see here, these are all the different dates for all the different Wii Bowling events going on.
And this is just for a year, for the year of 2023, and like next year that will automatically update and populate based on the parameters set?
I believe so. If not, it's longer. It might be like somewhere from like 3 to 5 years. I think it says it though when we're creating the event, so I can take a look there. Again, with the series, this is where you can see everything to know if one's been created. But when it comes to actually creating a series, I think it makes more sense to do it in an individual event page, which I'll show you how to do. But that's where they live.
Okay.
Yeah. So after series, we've got venues, and venues is showing the different venues that some of your events might be at. So most of them will probably be at either one of your locations. Sometimes if it's like a trip or if it's like a special event or something, it might be somewhere else. And so this is where you go to add that. You scroll up, you click add new, similar to event categories. And then you just put the title, which the title would be the name of the venue. And then you put in the information here.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then once you're done, if there is like an image of the venue that you want to add, you would just upload it to your media library and then do the set featured image, same kind of thing with the blog post. If not, you can just leave it blank and then you'd publish.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then it's the exact same process with organizers. Organizers meaning who's like behind the event, who's putting it on. Again, most often than not, it's going to be Fox Valley. But every once in a while, like for example, for some of the trips, I know that it's Fox Valley in conjunction with Good Times. Like they are also helping create the trip.
Yes.
So that's why we added that here. So same sort of thing if you had a similar event, or maybe it's a whole different organization that's putting it on. You would put in the name of the organization and then just some quick info about them, and you'd click publish. Yeah, that's about it. Is there any questions on the organizers?
No. Can I add like a Facebook link for those?
Yes, yeah, for a website.
We have a Good Times Travel Facebook page that's run by Becky, so making sure that people are interested in that, if we can get that connected onto our website. I know that was something we wanted to try and do, but
yeah, if you ever wanted to do that, we could go to do it quickly. You could go into organizers, we could edit the Good Times Travel, and you could either put it in the description or you could put it as the new website link.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do all this in action. So we're going to go ahead and create a new event. So I went back to the events. I'm going to click add new at the top. Or actually, yeah, so that's what you would do to create it. I'm just going to show you a better example, just so you can kind of see like exactly what we've done in the past. So I'll show you the murder mystery dinner one. Once it loads.
Seems like the internet's been slow today.
The internet's like, it's a Wednesday, I'm out. Okay, so so I'm gonna go ahead and click into one that's already made. But whenever you go up at the top and you click Add New, you will see the same kind of thing happen, um, where you have like an option for a title, description, and a bunch of stuff down here. So first thing you do, similar to the blog post, you update your title, and then you make sure in this like slug permalink area that your title is listed here, and you click OK. Now for this, you do not need to use the Divi Builder. You can just put everything right in here. This section, I like to use this as like a description section. So anything that you put like on typically on like a flyer or something, you could put it here. You'll see that whenever you hover over this, this is all paragraph text, but if you wanted to make it bigger, like heading 3, you could click that. If you have like a header for this, we usually just click it at heading 2, but that's more so just like a design thing. Yeah,
it is.
Right, yeah, and so same kind of thing, similar to many other drag and drops kind of builder things. You can bold, you can italicize, you can add bullets or numbers, you can fix the alignment up here, you can add a link. This is the visual view of it. If you go to text, it's the exact same thing, but this is the code. It's a coded version.
No, I'm not going in.
Yeah, feel free to just stay on visual, but just so you know, that's what that is.
I'll just stay here.
Yeah. And so, for example, this is what we use this section for the murder mystery dinner. We just, again, put the time, location, the fee, just to really reiterate all the details people need to know.
Okay.
And this is the fun part. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty of all the event details. So you would start by putting in a start date, which we did here. We did August 3rd at 10:30. It goes until 4:30, and it's that same day.
It probably should be more of a murder mystery lunch.
Oh, I see.
No, it's advertised at ours at murder mystery dinner. Yeah.
Note for the future, but okay, no problem.
Our seniors eat early, so it probably is.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. You've got the option if the event you're creating is an all-day event. You can go ahead and click that on. It's all day on August 3rd, but if you have specific certain end dates, you don't have to do that. Okay, before I get to recurring event, I'm going to go through the other things quick. So location, this is where you can, if you click this box, it shows a drop down of all the different venues.
Oh yeah, all the venues
that we already created. So then that's where you would click whichever one. Let's see, and then same thing with organizers. All the organizers that we've ever created are dropped down here, so that's where you would click it. And then event website. So if your event was, again, maybe it's more of like an external page that you want to direct people to. Maybe it's like Good Times Travel, like their actual page for people to get more details. You could put that here. If it's your own website, one thing that I do want to make known is that any internal page that you want to link to on your website. So let's just say we want to, for some reason, link them to the resources page. This is typically what you would put as a URL, but for your website, all you have to do is put this.
Okay.
And it will still redirect the same. So that's just one thing to keep in mind.
Internal shortcut for us.
Yeah, absolutely. But for us, we don't need one, so we'll just keep it there. If this event has a fee, then you would put your currency symbol here, and then you'd put the amount, the cost down here. As we can see, there's another Yoast SEO widget for us if you wanted to put in a meta description. If not, it'll just kind of auto-populate with the title, your name, and then just blank for the description. But just so you know, that is there if you want to do that. Mm-hmm. And we also have another area where we can set a featured image, similar to blog posts. Any questions so far before we continue?
No, just lots to get used to.
It is, yes, for sure. These training videos are going to be your bread and butter.
Is there a way to create? Do we just have to create these and leave them as a draft and until we want to publish them? Because I know like Becky starts planning her trips. Like next year's trips are almost Diane, are they almost finished or planned already in full? Just
She's got some but she's not quite there yet.
yeah, and I know that she doesn't
Probably
release them
couple
until
months.
January, but being able to have these ready for the trip reveal
Yeah.
would be nice, because the day after the trip reveal, everybody always calling, asking questions, and being able to
Right.
direct them to the page would be nice if we could quickly publish them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
The
could
day.
definitely do that.
Draft, right?
Yeah, save them as a draft. That's what we could do that, right?
I believe, yes, you can. I think you would do that up here. Actually, can you do that with this? You might not be able to with events in particular, but if you wanted to still like load them early and then have them in the calendar before there's promotion about it, you could do that.
But we wouldn't want them to be seen because she does a giant trip reveal. Would we be able to hide it?
Ashley,
Or
what
no?
about visibility? If it says public,
Oh, if it's a good idea. Yeah, okay. So that's exactly what you would do. Good job, Marissa. So you would do, instead of public, you would do private. And then that way it should hide everything from the calendar.
So how would that show on our website? Would it give away the title
Let's see.
and just no information, or would it? Sorry, I'm just curious because I know that this is
You're
like
fine.
January is pretty busy with the trip reveal.
No problem. Let me go ahead. We'll just use this as an example and see how it looks. Because I don't think we've ever had that question. So it's a good question. So that's what it'll look like. And then if we go to the calendar, let me see if it actually shows up on the calendar. It's August 3, so we're going to be looking at August. Okay. The moment of truth. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it doesn't actually remove it from view. It just kind of denotes to people that it's like a private event.
Okay. Well,
So
that's fine. We can just set everything up and create the text and everything and get it all ready
okay. If you want, I can definitely look
outside of
into
the
it.
builder.
Gotcha. If you want, I can still look into it and see if that is an option that maybe.
Yeah, if you could, I mean, it'd be great because like they had a mystery trip this year, and Becky's
Yeah.
planning on doing her own, but being able to have, the freedom and flexibility of publish and visibility of it would be nice. That way,
Yeah.
if we do want to get ahead and have things ready.
Can do. Sorry, I'm just making a quick note on here.
No, you're fine.
For events calendar. Okay, yeah, we can definitely look into that. Good
I
question.
appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, and then just so you guys know, I put it back to public visibility. So now that we've got that, so the big thing, the recurring events. So this is how I would recommend setting it up because I feel like it's the easiest. So every single event will have the option to schedule multiple events. So when you do that, that's when you get a couple different things. You get this, and then you get that event will not occur, that exception date option that shows up.
Okay.
So if we want this to happen, let's just say weekly. We're going to say happens. You have the options of daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. So we'll do weekly. And then you can denote if it's, if it's a bi-weekly event, you can say it happens every 2 weeks. Or if it's a weekly, like every single week event, you can say 1. If it's every 3 weeks, you can say 3. And as you're making those updates, you'll notice this like italicized text. I really like this because it basically like tells you what it is you're about to schedule so that you know that it's being set up correctly. So right now it says an event every week that begins at 10:30 on Thursday, starting on that August 3rd date and repeating indefinitely. Great. If we want it to be Tuesday and Thursdays, maybe it meets at the same time at 10:30 on Tuesday and Thursdays. Then I can just click Tuesday.
Perfect.
The reason that there's this little lockbox on the Thursday is because since August 3rd is on a Thursday, and that's been noted up here, it can't be weekly and not be on Thursday. So that's why this one, you can't click it, but if I click any other ones, you can click them on and off.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
Makes sense.
yeah, basically. You can also put an end date after this. So it's going to happen weekly, but it's going to end after either 10 events if you want to say like, oh, it's only 8 events long, or if you want to put a specific deadline, a date, then you can say it ends on and then click the date.
Okay. Pretty straightforward.
So, yeah, the one thing that I'm still waiting for an update from Events Calendar Pro. So let's just say that instead of it's on Tuesday and Thursday, it's a weekly event. But instead of it starting at the same time both days, let's say you have an event that starts on Tuesday at noon till 2:30, but on Thursday it starts at 2 from 4:30. We had one client, Namidi Page, they had something similar where they had routine events, but sometimes they met on different times of the week. Unfortunately, Events Calendar Pro doesn't let you specify specific times for each day.
So you had to create events for each day.
Yes. So I would have to create a Murder Mystery Dinner dash Tuesdays and then have it be a weekly
Thursday.
Tuesday at exactly. So that's the only annoying thing. But even then, I mean, for me, it added 2 or 3 minutes of additional work. So it's definitely annoying. That is the only caveat with the recurring events. Everything else, though, is taken care of. And then, yeah, and then let's just say, oh, we were just playing. We don't actually want it to be a recurring event. You just delete it. And then this will still show up, but you can't do anything with it. So, yeah. So you're all set. And then whenever you're done, it'll say publish here instead of update. So we'll just update since nothing has changed. Publish, nice. And then we'll say events published or updated, view event. So whenever I view it, this is what it looks like.
Perfect. Which is kind of the same design we have for all the other events.
Yes, exactly. The last thing with your events calendar plugin that I do want to mention, it's a really nice thing. Sometimes, again, I've worked with Namidi Page and they really wanted to, set up a button on one of their pages that allows people to view all of their, let's just say, health and wellness activities or all of their trips. You can have that same thing here. So if we wanted to show whether it's in a social media campaign or email marketing, or if we wanted to create a flyer with a QR code and it's specifically a post about all the trips that Fox Valley has to offer, and you want to link out and show people, here are all the trips we have planned so far. What you can see under the details is trips is highlighted. And when you click that, this is why we created all those event categories and everything, because by creating those, you can get a full list of all your upcoming trips.
And is that auto-populated every time we add an event in?
It is, yes. So as long as you categorize your events, so you make sure they're assigned to like health and wellness, or you make sure that those are assigned properly, they will show up under this section. So now people can see all the different trips coming up in one place and they can click into each one individually. Let's see, same thing if I'll go back to the events calendar. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so we'll just say chair exercise. Let's pull that one up quick. So I'm online, I've checked out the chair exercise. That looks fun, that looks cool. Oh, it's under health and wellness. I wonder what other health and wellness events they have. You can click that, and then it will show every single event that is a health and wellness event. So if you ever want to use that, again, for any sort of promotion, social media, you would just go at the top here, and this is the link you would use.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's fun. And that is all that I have for the events overview. Do you have any questions before we continue on?
No, not currently.
Great, cool. Okay, I just want to do a quick time check. We've got 30 minutes. So my next thing I was going to go ahead and show you guys was the pages, being able to actually, test out a landing page, see what that is all about, go into your Give WP donations, and then check out your geo directory. And the geo directory is your resources.
Okay. And is that completed? Did we get that entire thing uploaded, or do you want to send me the training video to finish that? Because I know Marissa and I had talked about it before. It's kind of a big file.
It is a big file. There were about 400, there's over, I think, 400 different listings on there.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was something that, because of like the formatting and everything, it was going to take a little bit longer than the, I believe, scheduled amount of time for the website. So we did 100 to start. And so we can show you how to add those in.
Yeah, because I think there's like a training video or something, and it's pretty straightforward on how to get them in there. Yeah. Just knowing where you guys left off and how to go forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be creating that training video. So if you want, we can do like
whenever you get it, just send it then, and then just let me know where you left off, and then I'll go forward from there.
You're good. I'll show you. So today I'll just do a quick overview of it, and then just so you know, you'll be getting a very detailed training video on it.
Yeah, just send me all the training videos you have, because I'm sure even if I write my 1,000 million notes, I'll still get lost.
Yeah, well, it's easier to follow along with the video as you're doing something. So totally get that.
And once you do it a few times, it kind of becomes second nature, and just kind of learn it as you go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So in that case, I'll skim over the geo directory, and then there are a couple smaller areas of your website too, which won't take too much time. So we'll get through those. If we don't have time for everything, again, I'm sending you a training video. It's going to show everything that we're talking about now. So it'll definitely be covered there. So we'll go ahead and dive into pages. The nice thing with pages is that a lot of what we're going to go into, we've already seen, because it's the same kind of strategy set up as your blog posts. So when you go to pages, this is all of the pages that are on your website. Everything is fair game. The only things that we would recommend that only PGM touches is any page that has the word donation, donor, or GD in front of it. The reason why is because these
won't touch them.
No, it's okay. I'll tell you why though, because you deserve to know. You can touch them. You can do whatever you want. It is your website. We recommend though that those don't get touched, because these are specifically pages that were curated upon activating one of your plugins. So these, for example, have to do their Give WP plugin and like the displays of that and everything. And that's all very specially coded based on the plugin. Even we don't want to like go in and be messing too much with that.
Could you just lock them by any chance?
Let's see.
Because in all honesty, we don't have to get in them. And I know that we had talked a little bit before, after those were done, they were just going to stay, managed and maintained by you guys.
Yes. Let me double check. I think there's a way to lock pages, but I can't think about it off the top of my head.
Or at least if we just create a password and then you give that to Suzanne. And then if for some reason the fiscal manager needs to get something, it can be done through those channels. Yeah,
absolutely. We can do that for sure. Okay, so in that case, so those are those donation donor ones. Same thing. Same reasoning for GD. GD stands for Geo Directory. That's the plugin that we're using for all your resources. Just so you know, that's why those are those. But yeah, so everything else though, fair game. Those are all pages that are currently viewable on your website. And so let's just say we want to create a new page. Again, you can always click Add New at the very top. We would recommend, based on all of the different settings with the hero image, the sizing, the design aspects, to just duplicate a page you already have created. So for example, for today, I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate the Contact Us page. You have that clone option that you can use. we'll go ahead and do that.
So do you have to hit add new to get that clone option, or when you're hovering over that in the standard view of opening it up, is that clone option there as well?
Yeah, so
Do you
if
have
I want
hit
to,
add new?
yeah, so if you hover over the page, you'll see there's like edit, quick edit, trash, view, and then there's that clone option. All you have to do is hit clone and it will duplicate for you.
Perfect.
Yeah. And again, the big difference, because it will have the same name as the page you clone it from. I think that's the right way to say it. So the big difference is that one says draft, it's not published. That's the new one for you to use.
Okay.
So before we go into the edit mode, just so you know, there is that quick edit mode. If we click quick edit when we hover over that, do quick edit, it doesn't take you fully into the back end of that page. It just kind of allows you a quick snip quickly. You need to make it unpublished. You can do that here.
Okay.
So it's already published